sorry about that. I had to start recording part 2. I was pissed that Harry had the Half-Blood Prince's book in the washroom when Snape showed up, and Snape didn't do anything. And then he didn't even, try to find Harry after he knew he'd used Sectum Sempra, because he knew the effects of Sectum Sempra, because he created the spell. Ugh! But he didn't even do the whole, who knew the Chosen One could sink to such dark magic. I was really ticked about that. I think the second worst part of the film was the lack of the epic fight scene. Just the lack of it. In place of Bellatrix just kind of messing up the Great Hall. Ooh, she destroyed every single piece of glass in there. So what? I wanted to see people, shooting off spells and, people avoiding Fenrir Greyback, who was a creep, and, ripped out kids' throats. What the hell? Seriously. And, the whole fact that Bill didn't get his face ripped off by Fenrir. But seriously, Warner Brothers, are you trying to tell us that Draco opened up Hogwarts to the Dark Lord completely, and only 4 Death Eaters came through? Actually, only 3 Death Eaters and Fenrir Greyback, who is just, a Voldemort supporter? Really? Come on! Do you think we're stupid? Ugh! That was the climax of the book, and it was just not there. It didn't disappear, it didn't deflate, it didn't get distracted from, it just wasn't there. Ugh. In the book, Harry would have never stood by as Dumbledore, died. As 3 Death Eaters, 1 werewolf, 1 Draco Malfoy, and then 1 Snape all threatened his life. Even though Dumbledore told him not to do anything, to hide, whatever. He wouldn't have done it. He would have done something to protect Dumbledore, because he had the power to do that. In the book, he was petrified, and he would have done something if he could, but he couldn't. And that's why he didn't, obviously. Ugh! I was just so mad about that. And, I believe that in the movie, in the bathroom scene where Harry used Sectum Sempra on Draco, he was able to use silent curses. So why couldn't he use Petrificus Totalis and Stupefy on the Death Eaters? And then have called up the Ministry and been like, okay, well, I just saved Dumbledore's life because some Death Eaters are now unconscious and petrified at the top of the astronomy tower. We don't know how they got in right now, but, okay, yes, we do know how they got in, but only vaguely in the movie. It's like, ugh. The disappearing cabinet. All that Dumbledore said was, oh, it has a twin. What the frig does that mean? Oh my god, it has a twin. Yeah. So does my bed, because it was made by my stepdad, and, he made 2 of them. Yeah. Does that mean anything? No! Ugh. So, basically, we don't know anything about that. But, yeah, there's these unconscious and petrified Death Eaters at the top of the astronomy tower. You should come and put them in Azkaban. Yeah, but I saved Dumbledore's life, so all good. As for the Ministry, the non-book readers have no idea that Fudge is no longer the Minister of Magic. They have no idea that Rufus took over. And in the movie, he obviously, since he never made an appearance, did not appear to convince Harry to be the Ministry's mascot. And I believe that in the next movie, or in Deathly Hallows, I think that he gives them the things that Dumbledore left for them. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he is like, okay, Granger, why would he leave you a witch's or a wizarding child's storybook and that all junk? Ugh. Yeah. It was. Ugh. But obviously, they can't do that in the next one. Because, Rufus just hasn't shown up. I mean, they could, but I doubt it. Because, of the whole Bill and Fleur thing, where they're obviously not getting married in the next one because nobody knows! Ugh. However, I believe that the worst part of the film was the lack of Dumbledore's funeral. We needed that funeral as the audience, and from Harry's perspective. We needed it for closure. Harry needed it to tell us that he was going to not let people die for him anymore, not stand in his way, not do his work for him. We needed that, and we didn't get it. And, Harry needed to realize that he needed to go get the Horcruxes on his own, even though he ends up going with Ron and Hermione. But due to Warner Brothers' great judgment, Harry has not the foggiest idea what he's looking for. Just 7 random Horcruxes. He doesn't even realize, I don't think, that 2 of the Horcruxes are gone. I'm not quite sure, I don't really remember. I may have started blocking out parts of the movie because I was mad. No I wasn't, but I don't remember everything. Nobody possibly can. But Harry has no idea about the cup, the locket, something of Gryffindor's or Ravenclaw's, and the snake. I really want to know how they're going to fix that in the next movies. There were a lot of other small things that they could have fixed, like, the color of Felix Felicis. Really, how hard would it have been to make it gold? How hard would it have been to throw in a line that said lavender brown? How hard would it have been to introduce Fenrir Greyback as Fenrir Greyback, the werewolf? I was very disappointed in this movie. I was very disappointed in Warner Brothers. I had been looking forward to this movie for months and months and months, and it was destroyed for me. I can't believe that Warner Brothers massacred, absolutely massacred, my favorite Harry Potter book. I guess tell me what you think, leave me a comment, make a video response, but this is my opinion of this movie, and I didn't expect it to be exactly like the book. You can never expect that because it's impossible. You can't possibly get as much detail from the book into the movie, otherwise you would have, a 9-hour-long movie. And, nobody would sit through that. I would, because I'm that much fangirl. And I would have been, I would have loved it very much. But, that's the way it goes. But this movie hardly even followed the same storyline as the book. So, while I don't expect perfection, I do expect a rough idea of the book, and something that if you hadn't read the books, you would be able to understand. Because there was so much that Warner Brothers depended upon the readers to know. But I had a friend with me who kept asking my other friend, who was between us, what's going on? What's going on? I don't understand. Because Warner Brothers expected that everyone had read the book who was going to see it. And this was very wrong. And she just didn't understand half of the stuff going on in the movie because it wasn't explained. Anyways, I am almost out of time, so yeah, comment, review, reply, rate, subscribe, and yeah, let me know what you thought of